Hey guys, it's Brother Peter. I want to make a quick video this morning while I'm on my way to work. Another soul winning tip video, and that is how to preach the gospel when you're preaching to a group, and what kind of approach to take when you're preaching to a group of 2 or 3 or several or more people. Because sometimes it can become, a question when we're preaching the gospel to people, like, who should I pay attention to? How do I, interact with all these people at once? Because sometimes you have a good opportunity to preach to like a whole group of kids, or, a whole mess of people at once. And, the question is, what's the best way to do that? I believe the best way to do that is this. When you're preaching to a group of people, what you want to do is look around to find out who it is in that group that's most... Hold on one second. We got a cop over here. I'm in a school zone. This isn't the best idea, making a video in a school zone on a busy Tuesday morning. But what you want to do when you're preaching to a whole mess of kids or a group of people is you're going to look around and you're going to gauge the group and to find out who the most receptive person is. You can tell who's interested in the gospel and who isn't, just based on the way that they are paying attention to you and the way that they're receiving what you're saying. And if it's, whether they're dazing off and looking into the distance and just being very remiss about what you're saying, or if they're focused on you. So what you want to do is find the most receptive person, focus on them, and just preach the gospel to them as if you're only preaching the gospel to one person. So while you're preaching the gospel to this one person in the group, the rest of the group, hopefully, if there's anybody else that's interested, they are listening and they're receiving the gospel as well. Focus only on that one person. Eventually lead them to Christ, after asking them the questions to follow up to see if they understand it. Pray with them. And then after you have focused on that one person, solely on that one person. Now, when I say focus on that one person, you should acknowledge the other people in the group. You can make eye contact with them every once in a while, but your primary focus should be on the person that you have determined is the most interested in the group. Focus on them, preach them the gospel, and then afterward, after you've found that they've gotten saved and that they've received the gospel, and you've concluded that they understand it, then you go back to every other person in the group and you ask them the questions. You say, did you understand what I just preached? You ask them what they believe about salvation, and if they give you the wrong answers, then you preach them the gospel again. If they give you the right answers, then they got saved when you were preaching to their friend or to the other person in the group initially. So that's what I think the best way is to go about it. Focus on the most receptive person first, then afterward go back and preach to everybody else and see if they got it. And if you find that they've got it, then even lead them in prayer if they give you the right answers, just to make sure that they got it for sure. That's the best way I think to do it. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. See you later.